This is our second season of Stay Regular, and we didn't have the name Stay Regular until after we shot the first one. I think we called it the Fascinating People Project.
I personally would have.
But no. Stay Regular is great.
After coffee.
And you've been coming in here for a long time.
The beginning of time, not really. You know, you guys were open way before in the other location.
Yeah. How long have you lived around the corner?
Maybe 5 years.
5 years.
5 years, so maybe all 5 years.
Yeah,
I got to know
probably.
your staff. You still have a lot of the same staff, which is really awesome.
And rare.
And rare, and it's part of the chemistry here. It's part of what makes home. You know, this is kind of like what I mention to people all the time in the business, in the service business where you do coffee or a restaurant, is, you know, you could make great coffee and you could have a beautiful location, but you really got to get the ambience down. And the ambience is the coffee, the location, but the people, and how your people deliver that. And I have to say, you know, as much as I like this space and the food, if your people weren't as amazing as they are, I probably won't be, you know, I'll probably go somewhere else.
You're from Spain, from Puerto Rico,
And I was born in Long Island.
You're born in Long Island?
Yeah,
so,
but literally kicked out of Long Island the moment I was born. It was like...
And you moved to?
Probably Spain, then Puerto Rico. We're from Sevilla. My dad's family is from the south of Spain. And
how long did you live there?
I don't know, maybe until I started reading, maybe 3, 4, whenever you start reading.
I feel like you started reading at 1.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. There's some truth to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say to Paul, I was like, I think Ralph is probably one of the smartest dudes I've ever met.
Don't say that. We gotta cut that. Cut. Never. I have a photo memory.
Okay.
So I memorized the page not by looking at the page, not the letters.
Yeah.
So my sister would read it for me. She will read the stuff.
Right.
And I'll be like, and then look at the page. And then when my dad will come in, I'll make believe I'm reading. Right. But I was reading from my head.
From your memory.
Yeah. That's how it.
Wow.
So I skipped the torture.
So you graduated college, and then you went straight to Wall Street?
Then I went straight to Bell Labs.
Okay.
To At&T Bell Labs, which was my dream come true. I always wanted to be a scientist, engineer, scientist. So that's where I started doing systems. I would build testing systems that were automated for some of the. This is before PCs.
So how long were you working on Wall Street?
About 15 years. So after Bell Labs.
Okay.
One of those lucky things. This guy called Jeff Sardis, which I own my entry to Wall Street. He says, Ralph, you're a systems guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it. I'm a systems guy.
How long were you doing that?
15 years.
Why'd you leave?
Well, it was a Japanese firm, and there was a change of direction from Japan. You know, we got a phone call like, hey, you got to change direction. We were like, we don't think so. This is not going to be a thing. And we all quit.
You all left?
All of us. We obviously did okay.
Right.
Saved some money, which I then went completely crazy, and I opened a restaurant. You either love it, it's in your DNA, or you just won't put up. You would not possibly.
Or you close.
Endure. Yeah. You don't endure those moments where you're like, what the hell did I do with all my money?
Right.
Or why am I doing this when the spreads are so small? The work is crazy. The staff is so unreliable. At the beginning, you know, until you start finding the staff.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you noticed that there were a lot of systems that were lacking in the restaurant industry, and so you went ahead and just were like, you know what? I'm just going to develop some systems.
Yeah.
I know your project RevoMarket, which you've been, which I've looked at and we've used and we like.
You save some money.
You've saved some money.
I still remember how you looked when you compare prices for the first time. I remember, Jeremy.
Oh,
it was like, you were like,
I was like, I've been spending this.
Why are they doing this?
So tell us about Revo.
The summary of it is this. It's It's a web cloud-based application for restaurant owners like me and vendors. And it allows the restaurant owners to get the lowest price from all the products they buy from their wholesale vendors. This didn't happen out of this great thing that I had nothing better to do, which is kind of true, because I don't watch TV. So I rather.
Well, but you also
I
did just
almost
have.
ran out of money.
No. But you also did just have a son,
Yes.
right? So you do have stuff to do.
I got stuff to do. You're right. You're
Right.
right. But I almost ran out of money in the restaurant.
Okay.
We weren't keeping anything after paying all the vendors.
This is the fun stuff. You ready?
We haven't had any fun so far, I have to say.
Have you actually ever slipped on a banana peel?
No.
Okay.
It's a very interesting graphic.
Right.
In
But nobody
fact,
ever
I
slips on a
don't
banana
think
peel.
anybody, because first of all, just think of the chances of a banana peel landing in your path of going to get coffee at Birch. It's such a random thing.
Yeah.
And also think about the size of the banana peel and your shoe.
Right.
Like,
I haven't really read into it. It's just
and the temperature. There's
temperature. Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe.
Let's move on.
Okay.
And the last one is, what superpower would you want to have? If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, definitely time travel. Absolutely.
Okay.
I would love to be in the future. And then, not the past, the future. Yeah.
So time travel.
Yeah.
Awesome.